guys, it's been a while, and this is the first time that you're actually seeing the voice or the face behind the voice on all of my YouTube videos and tutorials. I thought I'd just give you a glimpse of me, just so you can put a face to the voice. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video, and that's because Christmas kicked my butt. It was my first Christmas taking orders, and holy cow, it whipped me, and I didn't think I was going to make it through that almost 2 months, but here I am. I made it. It was tough, but I am so thankful for the business and the support from everybody in my area. So I thought I would kick off this new year of 2020 with a fun tutorial on how I do my geode cups. That was a very popular item this year for Christmas, and so I thought, well, let's just show everybody how I do it, because like with most tumblers, everybody does it a little bit different. They find their own groove and they stick with it, and this is my groove for a geode cup. So to start, what I did is I prepped a cup. It's a stainless tumbler, Ozark. That seems to be my go-to, unless the customer specifies the kind of tumbler that they want. I prep it by sanding it down until I can smell the metal. That's how I know I've scratched it enough. And then I clean it off with alcohol, 91% rubbing alcohol, and then I wash it with soap and water. Let it dry, and then I get started. So I prepped this cup, and then I sprayed it with white spray paint, and then I just used a light layer of Mod Podge and some white glitter. It's actually, I think, called Glitz from Recollections that I get from Michael's. And then I just did a good layer of epoxy on this, and then the next step is to hydro dip. So we will do this. I will show you how to do the hydro dip here in a minute. I have done a couple hydro dip videos, but let's just start this year by starting fresh. So we'll be back in a minute after I get everything ready for the hydro dip. Okay, we are back and we're ready to start this hydro dipping process. I'm on the floor with this 5-gallon bucket of water. And I'm going to be using 3 different colors of spray paint. First, I have this Krylon Metallic Silver. This settles really well on the bottom of the can, so you need to make sure you shake it up really good so you can get good color out of it. We're also going to be using this Shimmer Metallic from Krylon. And this too settles on the bottom, so make sure you're shaking it up good. And then we're going to be using just a little bit of black. I always use flat colors of spray, or flat finishes of spray paint, just because I feel like it adheres to the cup a little better. So this one too needs to be shaken up really well. I already shook them before I started the video. We have our cup here, and I have a gloved hand just because I don't want to get spray paint all over me. So first, let's start with the metallic color. We're just going to randomly spritz it in here. I like a lot of the metallic, so I use quite a bit of it. Now we have the shimmer. I like a lot of that one too. And then just a little bit of black. Squirts. Random squirts. But let's go back to the metallic here, because like I said, I love it. All right, so now we take our tumbler and we go in at an angle. If you go straight down, it creates an air pocket and it just won't cover well. So just trust me on this and go at a slight angle. Slow, 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 twisting both ways, turning, and down, dunk. Really quick. Get the water out of there and take a look to see what you think. So it doesn't need to be perfect going all the way around, because we need to pick a spot on here where the geode has to go. So right here, I'm not a huge fan of the way that the spray paint turned out, so I'm gonna put my geode right here to kind of cover this spot. You're gonna go at an angle like this. That's the beauty of hydro dipping. Every one is different. Every single one is different. So now we want to blow off some of this water. You can use compressed air for this, or you can just use your mouth. All right, so now we just let this dry and then we're ready for the next step. Okay, so now our tumbler is all dry from the hydro dip. As you can see, it turned out pretty cool, but there is just that one spot that I'm not super happy with. A bubble must have gotten in there with just this color, or I didn't dip it right, but you know what, it happens. And life still goes on, it's okay. So we'll just make the most of it, and let's put our geode right here to kind of cover it up a little bit. So my customer wants a gray geode. So what I do for this one is I just grab every gray colored glitter that I have. This one is like a super chunky glitter. This cup does have texture on it. I mean, I could sit and put layer and layers of epoxy on this to make it a smooth cup, but it would turn out so heavy. So the beauty with the geode cup is that there are chunky layers of glitter that just won't be smooth. It'll feel like there's an actual geode on the cup. This is like a medium chunk glitter. I have a white medium just to give it some contrast. Here's like a silver color that I'm super low on that I hope that I have enough for this cup for. And then I just have this onyx color. It's like a black to kind of go around the outside like it's the rock. I have Mod Podge here. I have a little paintbrush, and I am working on top of a piece of folded parchment paper so I can easily get the glitter back into their containers with each layer. So just to start, we want to get some Mod Podge on our paintbrush, and we want to figure out how this shape of this geode is going to be. Sometimes I start with acrylic paint with each color, but gray is pretty easy to just keep layering up since there are a lot of gray tones already on the cup. If I'm doing a different color, like say pink, I will start with the acrylic paint on the bottom, because the inside of the geode I generally make the darker, more pronounced gray color, or the color of the geode, whatever the customer wants. So I'm just going to start with a little bit here, and we can just keep adding or take away as we go. So let's start with this chunky glitter. Just tap it right on there. And I kind of just tap it on so it holds in the spot that I want it to be. Shake off the stuff that didn't stick. And again, we can do more than just one layer of this. We just gotta let it dry. Okay, let's clean up this part. Back inside container. All right. I usually like to let it dry in between each, not layer, but like each ring that I do around, but let's put on layer of this medium chunk. See what happens here. Just a little thin layer going around. We want to give this as much dimension as we possibly can to make it look 3D. Okay, now let's open up this one. And tap in there. Okay. Push off a little bit of this extra that's just sticking from static. There we go. Doing these geode cups, you can make it as simple or as complex as you want. I like to keep it simple. I honestly feel like I'm always chasing time, having 4 kids, so I like things to be quick, easy, simple. Let's see here. Let's use this brush. Brush away some of this stuff. Alright. Getting a good start here. So now we will move on and do this white. This iridescent, chunky, semi-chunky white color. And we'll make this just a little bit thicker going around. Maybe the width of the paintbrush. Sorry, I concentrate and I get quiet. I'm awkward. I'm sorry. Okay. Put on some of this white. All right. We're getting somewhere, folks. See, that's the thing with not waiting for each layer to dry. And then brush away the extra glitter. You start to contaminate your glitter, but oh wow. We'll survive. Okay, now let's go for the black. This is just another thin line that goes around. It's like the outside of the rock. The geode. Sorry. Okay, there's our black line. Now this I'm going to try to just get around the outside because I don't really want too much of the black to mix in on the white. Even though this kind of a cup is completely rustic, what'd you call it? Because every rock geode is different. Touch off the extra, brush around here. Nope. A little too close. Okay.
right, we'll let this dry and brush off the black flecks that kind of got in on the white, and then do another layer of each of the rounds. So we'll be back. All right, we're back after I did a couple coats of Mod Podge and glitter to really create this geode and make it pop on this cup. There are little flecks of black throughout the white, but I'm waiting for it to dry a little bit more before I take my brush and sweep it out of there. The next step now is to spray this down to seal it so the glitter doesn't move when I'm epoxying it. I will just use a matte clear coat spray, and then after that's all dry, it is ready for a couple good coats of epoxy. So you don't need to watch me do that. So I will be back once this beaut is all finished. Stay tuned.